Hello, every one of you listening to this sweet voice. I'm Joshy, joined as always by my good mate Johnny. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Joshy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just want to apologize to our lovely listeners about the last episode coming out later than usual. I was a bit unwell. I likely still sound a bit unwell. Where we live is having a bad time.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Johnny?
Yeah, we've all been a little sick, but we're still here, and we're still kicking.
Look, if I can no longer talk about Warhammer, I have truly been lost to the sickness.
Nurgle will take you then.
I'm not a Nurgle guy, unfortunately, but we're here. We are going to talk today about Kill Team. Before we talk about Kill Team, we're going to talk about the recent Warhammer, I don't even know what reveal show it was, but they revealed some stuff. We're going to talk about it.
Joshy.
Before that,
it was the World Championship reveal show. You know those
what?
people that play the game.
You know what? Not my niche. Anyway, beyond that, I do... Well, actually, not beyond that. Very in league with that. I want to ask you about how your hobby was before we all stopped hanging out.
Oh, last week. Yes.
How's your hobby been?
Well, painting-wise, I've done very little because obviously I've been unwell as well. But the game on Tuesday was pretty fun. We did a 3-way 1,600-point game where I got bullied out of existence, which tends to happen in multiplayer games. No, it was good fun.
You got to bring your Chaos Knights.
I sure did. I love those boys.
It looked pretty good for a while. I was playing on a different board, a different game, and I looked over at Battle Round 4, and you were still holed up in your deployment zone, being, yelled at by a bunch of orcs.
Yeah. While the World Eaters were sneaking around trying to do sneaky stuff.
Yeah, you got bullied hard.
But hey, these things happen when you play Knights.
I played Boarding Actions, the game that you were also supposed to be playing. I brought Necrons to my Boarding Actions game. Almost won. Didn't do a very good job screening. I'm not used to tight confines with my Necrons, I must admit. I did not build my Illuminor Xerath, by the way.
Yeah, and I forgot to bring mine for you to use as well.
Oh my god, chat. So, last week, Johnny forgot to bring me an Illuminor Xerath. He forgot to send me his audio for me to edit for the podcast episode. And he forgot to bring me my birthday present he said he had for me.
Which is still sitting on my desk.
Hey, I'm not going to get around to it just yet, I think.
No, I think it's a next year project.
But I did look into your gift, and I know what I'm going to build them as. So I did a little bit of work.
Yay, hobby stuff.
Turns out you can build them as more than just Battle Sister Squad.
You sure can.
Dominion Squad.
Yes, that's part of...
Can you tell the difference?
No. It's a weapon profile.
Just the guns. I looked up a very interesting combo wombo for those girls.
Oh no, I don't like combo wombos because they're going to have melters.
Give them 4 flamers.
Yep.
Give them Bringers of Flame detachment, so assault keyword guns.
Yep.
Assign them with a character that gives them an invulnerable 4 save, which happens to be one of 2 characters I own.
Nice.
Yep. You put them in a Rhino, which at the start of the game gives them a scout move.
And then moves ridiculous movement.
Yeah, turn 1, you just zoom them out. Put them on the objective, which generates you miracle dice, by the way. And then you just look at your opponent and say, try me.
Guess what's inside?
Get closer to me and my multiple strength 6 flamethrowers.
Ooh, strength 6.
Bringers of Flame. You can give them extra strength, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. It's basically salamanders but for sisters.
Well, that's hitting Terminators on 3s.
Look, these girls are T3 on their own. They need some help. And unfortunately for my opponents, it will be in their guns.
Yeah. I just got to shoot them before they get close enough.
I've been reading up on the Reddits, which is usually not a great thing, but I find success. I've learned that you need to spend 2 to 3 turns just staging them, putting them into the right places, keeping them out of sight, putting them in the buildings, not being too aggressive. And then when you're satisfied, you spring the trap. Every unit just goes into this full-on aggression mode, and if you play your cards right, you substitute out all the bad dice with your miracle stuff that you've been building up over the first few rounds, your opponent will just be there the heck happened there?
So what I'm saying is you play like an orc, and you call a war. And then you rush in.
Except it's just bolter and flamer.
Yes.
But I think that's a great segue. Like next year army project, I'm a little bit like positively PO'd after some of the recent announcements. Like positively PO'd. I'm like, heck yeah, look at that. But also like,
there's some really pretty models.
Let's talk about the reveals discussion.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, Warhammer, as it turns out, World Championship happened. They revealed a bunch of stuff. And I just want to say, I think they cooked.
Yeah, no, this was the preview show we wanted for the last couple of preview shows.
This is what Adepticon promises you it's going to be.
Yeah, they revealed a lot of models.
Across a lot of systems.
Yeah, all their main systems.
They announced this amount of stuff, despite having launched new editions of both Kill Team and Warhammer Underworlds. Like, they just have all this stuff. The mad lads.
Not only that, but we got a lot of 40k reveals when they said we weren't getting anything else for a while.
Well, this is all their next year stuff.
I know, but I wasn't expecting reveals till next year.
I think they needed to get some goodwill in the community that they actually had somewhat of a plan.
Yeah. It was getting a little boring there for a little bit with their reveals. They went from very constant to like, we're done.
Isn't it amazing that for so much of Warhammer's history, they, had this sort of drip feed of releases, like a codex here, models there. And then, like 9th edition, 10th edition, like Warhammer community has an article about something new like every other day.
Yeah.
Insane. But what they revealed, let's start off with the Old World. I don't really have anything to say about the Old World. One of the classic factions, the Empire of Man, is getting all of their old stuff resculpted, I suppose, made available once more. I think Forge World's adding a couple of new resin miniatures to add to the bunch. I like fantasy Imperial Guard worse than sci-fi Imperial Guard, but if you like these guys, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you and your puffy pants.
They also have like this really weird kind of vibe to me where they're a bunch of dudes with guns and then they're like, oh, by the way, here's a tank in your fantasy game.
Oh, the steam engines?
Yeah, like the steam engines just feel really weird. It's like, here's a horse-drawn cart full of dudes with guns next to a tank.
Isn't there one that's like half of an inn on one of these tanks and it's just a bunch of dwarf snipers inside it?
Yeah. It's really weird. But I mean,
Old World has a lot of whimsy,
right? Yeah.
Old World has a lot of whimsy. I try and be very respectful of Old World because without it, we wouldn't have everything else.
This is where it all started.
Yeah. And I'm not actually so against some of their armies. The Chaos armies, the Orcs actually look pretty fun. I really like the Orcs. Still would probably go with the Bone Boys, the Skeleton Counts or Tomb Kings or whatever they are called.
The square skeletons, as I like to call them.
I don't like square bases, but if there's something I do like, it's having those little templates where you can fit all the models inside the template and you move them
all together
as like one chunk.
Yeah.
Do you know how much time you spend in 40k moving every individual dude? Holy.
I mean, yes. Yeah. Those big blobs of 20 Necron warriors are rough, right?
You know what you can do with the templates in Old World? You can, like, kit bash, like, banners and miscellaneous things to, like, pad out the template if you don't have enough models for the template size.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right?
Placeholders.
And so I've seen YouTubers do, like, Tomb King, totem poles,
yep.
The Bretonians with their colourful banners. Yeah, it's sick, but I don't have really anything to say about Old World. I'm not going to collect it.
Yeah, no.
Horus Heresy. They released they announced a plane.
In plastic.
In plastic. That's always a good sign. If you don't know, most of Horus Heresy stuff, originally, anyway, was in resin. Resin is a rather tricky material to work with, especially as a new hobbyist. It's the stuff 3D printers use, for the most part, and Horus Heresy and a lot of the old Forge World stuff is resin. They label it as expert kits on their website because it's a little bit trickier to work with. You know, you need a different glue. The pieces might not have as much detail. Maybe they're a little bit softer than plastic.
They also don't like to glue as easily. You need to clean them down before you do much with it. It's just a different challenge.
Yeah, but in the last year we've had the Solar Auxilia, the Horus Heresy timeline equivalent of Imperial Guard, which are more steampunk looking. I like them. They also released the Horus Heresy equivalent of the Mechanicus, which has a lot more of an automata robotic vibe than 40k. I really like them too. It's sick. Go Horus Heresy. If I have one thing I don't like about Horus Heresy though, they announce like one model every week or two, and it doesn't matter if it's a new army or an old army, they just announce like, here's a character. Like, what if you already have this character? What if you just bought this character? What if you got into Horus Heresy, you're like, I'm going to build Alpha Legion. You make 2,000 points of Alpha Legion for your Horus Heresy army, and then a week after you do that, they're like, oh, here's a brand new Alpha Legion, sergeant, or here's a 10-pack of shoulder pads for Alpha Legion. You're like, I fucking hate you.
I mean, the release of an upgrade kit is a little frustrating, or a heavy weapon kit. It does mean that as they move deeper into Horus Heresy, there are more options, and some of the models in HH are cool. I mean, one of the things they did reveal is a dreadnought bristling in guns that looks a little silly, but also that's a lot of fire.
Is that the Doredio?
The Doredio.
Or as I like to call it, the Dere-Do.
But are you ready, though?
I realized that it wasn't just a plane they announced as well, but a really long tank.
Yeah, a tank that comes with a trailer.
The flamethrower alternative is amazing.
It's adorable.
You have a tank buster neutron laser thing, which looks like a train-sized tank. The alternative build is a heavy flamer, but in the blurb, they say that it needs more fuel than it can carry, so it's got a little steam engine on the back.
Yeah, it's just got a fuel tank on wheels towed behind it like a trailer, and it's adorable.
But you know what I like? You know what I like a lot about the Heresy era tanks? Most of them have Legends data sheets for 40k.
Yes, and they look so much better.
There's the flame tank. I don't remember what it's called, but the flame tank would go really well for one of their announced ranges in 40k that we'll get to in a bit.
It is a Malkador.
What a guy. We'll do a Malkador episode one day.
Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, that's HH.
Well, that's HH. Age of Sigmar. Destruction Mega Faction cooking. Orruk War Clans.
Yeah.
What do you know about the Orruk War Clans, Johnny?
They're yellow orcs.
The Iron Jaws is what you're referring to. The Orruk War Clans is going to do something interesting. They are going to combine two factions into one book.
Oh.
They are going to combine the Iron Jaws, which are your brutish, muscly orcs.
Which are orcs in yellow.
They tend to... Yeah, they have metallic armor plating that they do paint yellow. These guys love their metallic plate armor. They love to ride around on ginormous boars, like wild pigs.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it's Gork, but they follow the brutal might of Gork. Whereas the Cruel Boys are your spindly, cunning, lightweight orcs that come from more of a swampy area of the setting. They use a lot of magic to make you hallucinate. They use a lot of ambush tactics, spears, and wizard orcs, etc. And they're called the Cruel Boys.
Yeah, the yellow orcs.
And are they yellow? I thought they just looked like putrid orcs.
In the reveals, they showed a yellow dude.
Oh, the new character, yeah. The palette of skin tone for the Cruel Boys is swampy stuff. Yeah. Yellows, oranges, browns, icky greens.
They give me they are vibes.
Yeah, absolutely. They are the cunning style of Mork versus the brutal style of Gork.
Nice.
I'm not sure exactly if the two factions will remain, estranged from one another and that they've just been smooshed together into one book, or if they're going to be folded into the War Clans as a orc mega faction. They announced the character, which is classic Age of Sigmar. If you're not getting a model range update, you get a character.
Yep.
For this, it's the Slitter boss, who's really good at killing characters on a random chance.
Oh.
They got some... Yep. if you go into a fight with him on certain rolls, he just like kills the hero, I think.
That seems terrible.
Anyway, right. They got some fortifications, which are much more usable in Age of Sigmar. Certain factions actually have a lot of their game plan around the fortifications and building-esque units that they have access to. I really like their Orc Towers, I suppose.
The Boss Rock Tower.
The one that's designed for the Iron Jaws, I think is meant to be more for like a rallying war cry leader, whereas the one designed more for the Cruel Boys is more for like their sort of shamans and long-range casters. Either way, I think they look really flavorful, just like their endless spells that they are receiving. The endless spells is something that every every faction gets in Age of Sigmar. In Age of Sigmar, they have like a sorcery phase. Your faction sorcerers get to choose a spell. They can cast it if they hit the threshold with the dice roll. The endless spell materializes, represented by actual token game pieces. And can you explain to me what you're looking at right now, which is so funny?
Oh man, it's a literal foot.
Do you know whose foot that is?
It's Gork's foot.
It's Gork's foot.
And then there's a footprint.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that swamp, that swampy bit, that's the blood of Gork.
Oh no. This is great. Endless spells are great. I wish 40k had endless spells.
Too confusing.
Oh, I just mean like the cool models, alright?
No. Like, I just making a dig at the player base. Too confusing.
Yeah.
Spells.
We lost our psychic phase. They get endless spells.
That's the joke. They simplified the new edition of 40k and they took out the spellcasting phase.
Yes. Alright, so other than orcs, what's next? Git mob?
The Gloomspite Gits. Now, the Gloomspite Gits are your goblins army. They are the little runts that usually follow the orcs around. The Gloomspite Gits are a sullen bunch of nocturnal goblins. The Gloomspite Gits revere a construct known as the Bad Moon, that when it appears in the night sky drives people crazy, and they love it. They have spiders, mushrooms, squigs. They are the sort of mounts that they run with.
Sick wolves. I love their little, like, flame sun coronas that they have on their back made of metal that are just strapped onto wood. These guys feel very kit bashy.
Well, these are no longer the Gloomspite Gits. This is the Git mob. Instead of revering a Bad Moon, they revere, ready for it, the Evil Sun. These are, instead of being a bit sort of sullen and pallid and thin, they're a little bit pudgier, brutish, and aggressive goblins. And they love their wolf mounts, they love their ramshackle constructions, very orcish. And this is sort of like a sub-faction being added to them. I think they look really cool. I think they did a great job with these models. My favorite thing about the range we've got is they have a named character, a guy who's on a wolf mount. Hilariously, the goblin that's riding him is not the first of his name, but the newest to represent the title, chosen to be the recipient of this title by the wolf.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The wolf is the head of the operation.
And this dude just happens to be the one on the back.
Yep. But that's Age of Sigmar. That's what we got. A couple of destruction factions. What do you think?
I like the 40k to Sigmar kind of crossover of the Bad Moons and the Evil Suns and this sort of stuff.
Do you know what they call the Evil Sun? Glareface Frazzlegit.
Oh god, because it's glary.
Yeah. But yeah, you were saying.
I really like the wolves. I think they've got some very nice detail. The fur looks like a blast to try and paint. They look really silly while still being semi-intimidating, which fits into that, like, goblin-y vibe. But destruction just ain't where my fancy is when I look at Age of Sigmar.
Where is it?
Honestly, Chaos and Order. Like, there's a few Order ones, contrary to 40k, where I actually don't mind some of the Order facts.
Yeah, they did some different things.
Yeah, but chaos exists everywhere, and I love it.
Shall we go into 40k?
Yeah, we got 2 big reveals for 40k.
Aeldari?
Of course you want to start with the Aeldari.
Bloody oath, mate.
Let's do it.
Oh my god.
Show me what
I was just
you got.
I was just excited for Fugen, right? But Fugen was, I think, leaked by a warehouse person.
Yeah, they made a mistake.
They announced Fugen. No problem. They just got ahead of that. Easy. The reveal here brought everyone, except for one Phoenix Lord, everyone that wasn't updated last edition, got updated. We have, well, I'll get to it, hang on. So we have Azerman, who is the original Phoenix Lord. He is also what the Aeldari actually named themselves after, is him.
Yep, the Azyani.
Yep. Azerman? Anyway.
Which he is the
Azerman.
Dire Avenger?
Yep, he is like the basic guy, unfortunately.
A sick model,
but he's
though,
not,
with a really...
He's not a basic guy in combat.
Really?
He's just the most generic fighter.
Yeah, I like the flag they gave him. It feels very old school Warhammer.
So he's there. He's the one that teaches all of the other Phoenix Lords. The Phoenix Lords themselves are immortal. The armors they wear are a gestalt sort of psychic collection of all the previous wearers of the armor, but the actual Phoenix Lords are always there, which is why people tend to like them a lot, because it's an icon rather than a person. We got Fugen, and we got Fugen's aspect warriors, the Fire Dragons. These are your anti-tank folks. Bright orange, long-burning lasers. We got Warp Spiders, which are teleporting fast attack units. And for the first time ever, we got a Phoenix Lord for them, Lycus, who is a woman. That's great. Lycus is the greatest model they've released in a freaking long time.
Yeah, imagine. All they had to do was take something out of Marvel's book, right? And make Spider-Man.
Do you know what the Warp Spiders actually are inspired by?
Not inspired by. That's going way before my time.
So at the heart of Craft Worlds, they have the Infinity Circuit. That's where all the souls of the Eldar go when they die. They get collected in these little gems, and they are stored safely in the Infinity Circuit. The Warp Spiders are quite literally tiny bacterial creatures of the Craft World that maintain the Infinity Circuit by chewing off any little warp bacteria that threatens the safety of the Craft World. And the Warp Spiders looked at these things and thought, bet. Warp Spiders travel by tearing a hole into the warp, go through it, come out of it.
Yeah, they're sick.
I love them. We also got...
And Forearm Blade
I think that's
Dude
it, actually.
is real cool. No, that's not all we got.
Who else did we get?
We also got Baroth and his...
Oh my gosh, I knew I was forgetting
Swooping
one.
Hawks.
Baharoth, yeah. Baharoth looks very authentic to his old design, which is great.
The wings are gorgeous.
The Swooping Hawks are very cool. Something interesting of note is that several of the Aspect Warriors have helmetless options to represent their Ynnari affiliation. I find that quite interesting.
Yeah. And then the last part of the spoiler for Aeldari, the part you were the most interested in.
Yeah.
We're getting 8 detachment.
Ooh.
One of which is going to focus on the Harlequins.
Yes.
In the Ghosts of the Webway detachment. You're getting your girls back. Oh, or boys.
Yes. They-thems. They're canonically trans people. Yeah. No one will tell you that, though. Anyway, it's all very exciting. I like that the Codex art they announced is just Fugen stepping on what's quite obviously an Emperor's Children Marine.
Yeah, how rude.
How rude.
They had to introduce some Slaneshi background somehow, right?
Notice the Emperor's Children nipple plate?
I sure did.
Yeah. But yeah, very exciting. With the exception of the Striking Scorpions, Phoenix Lord Karandras, and maybe the Dire Avengers, depending on how recently they were done, the Craftworld Eldar is fully here in the modern era.
Yeah.
They may have lost a couple of their characters to history, but for the most part, we have arrived.
We have all the aspects at last.
Fantastic. Fan-bloody-tastic. I'm so excited to be an Aeldari fan again.
Such an exciting reveal for Aeldari players.
It is madness. And they just cooked. Like, Azerman looks great. Baharoth looks great. Fugen, Lycus,
Yes, so well done.
And the actual Aspect Warriors themselves all look very good. They all look very tributary, I suppose, to their original designs. They look very, very much what you want them to look like as a fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are very well put together.
How do they compare in your eyes to Krieg?
Oh, these guys are all the rage. We skipped Krieg, right?
Krieg
They got our lowest rating in our slag, so surely we're not that interested, right?
I have to put in a little but here. If there's one thing I love about the various Imperial Guard regiments, because that's what they're called, is that they all present so uniquely from one to the next. You got Cadians, which are your more basic troop, but you got the Catachan jungle fighters, for example. We now have the Death Korps of Krieg, which if you were to fully translate that sentence into English is the Death Korps of War.
Yep.
Krieg is the German word for war, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, don't step on any toes.
Yep. But the Death Korps of Krieg are going to, for the first time, receive a really big modern range update as part of the model range to go with the generic Astra Militarum, Imperial Guard, whatever you want to call it, Codex coming next year. We got a lot of stuff. We got a named character on Zombie Horse.
Yeah.
We got Death Riders. Combat Engineers.
Can I just jump
Artillery,
in and
Command
ask?
Squad, Heavy Support Squad, and you're about to rant on Zombie Horses.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt that flow of releases.
No, you're fine.
But why do the horses have clawed feet? I can't get past
zombie
the clawed
horses.
feet.
Have you seen how much barbed wire these guys go through? These horses are begging for mutation.
But wouldn't hooves be better suited for that aspect than fleshy toes?
The Krieg's homeworld is a nuclear wasteland. I'm not surprised.
Fleshy
Actually, I'm more surprised the
toes.
horses don't look different.
That's like the only difference is they're wearing a mask and they have clawed feet.
Yeah, well,
It's insane.
I don't know how long it takes to mutate a creature.
Yeah, no.
Do you know why they all wear masks?
I imagine because they come from an irradiated wasteland.
There's like a couple of reasons. Some are more headcanon-y and theory crafty than the other ones. Their immune system might be a bit messed up because they always need to wear the gas masks of the radiation. It could be a tribute to their homeworld. Maybe they just really like it. Or maybe, perhaps, they're all clones and they don't want the Imperium at large to realize this.
Well, that seems like heresy.
When your whole planet goes into nuclear apocalyptic war, how else do you replenish your troops en masse for the Imperial tithe, man?
You're not wrong.
There's a lot of, bits and bobs that suggest it.
But also, these dudes get guns on horses. Kind of sick.
I really like the Krieg aesthetic, and I know that's such an edgelord thing to say, I want my gas mask and shovel. It's such a easy sell of a range. People go nuts for the Kriegsmen, but the actual, cohesion of, the visual styles, great to me. Their artillery pieces, actual artillery versus just guy with big guns. Oh my. They have 4 different loadouts for their artillery. They have combat engineers walking around with heavy weapons and a whole mine that takes up its own token on the board.
Which is adorable.
You got Death Riders, which are your cavalry unit. You got a command squad. I fear for the commissar in that command squad, really.
Yeah.
Kriegsmen don't value their lives very highly.
That is a sick flag, though.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of their codex art?
The codex art is actually gorgeous. It's very different to what a lot of the other codexes have, but I was just staring at them it's very old-fashioned sort of detail. I kind of dig it.
I really like the codex art. It's a pretty good little chunk of 40k announcements, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like the start of next year is going to be a pretty good year for 40k.
Yep. We're going to get some novels as well. They announced some novels. There's 3 in particular, I think, for 40k. I'll tell you what they are. We got the next in the Minka-Lesk Cadian series, a line trooper that's worked her way up the ranks to rally her various kinsmen after the destruction of their homeworld. Apparently it's a fine series. I haven't read it, but apparently she's a good character, or good enough. We are getting a Carcharodon's Astra re-release of their previously done novels with an announcement of a 3rd on the way. and the 9th installment in the Dawn of Fire series, which is the modern era storyline of 40k, the Indomitus Crusade. We're getting the 9th installment, which is labeled The Silent King.
Necky boys.
Necky boys?
With Rabute in the background and Belisarius Call. I mean, that's some Pariah Nexus goodies.
I'm just a little skeptical because of who is writing it.
Yeah, but that special edition cover is real pretty.
Yeah, and I don't mean to put him down. Like, I've listened and read a few of his books. He's a great writer. He just doesn't do it for me. He gets really into conflicts of the setting really well. He puts a lot of emphasis on the titular characters really well. There's just something about his actual flow that just doesn't tickle my brain as well as I'd like. And that's just a me thing.
Yeah, which is perfectly fair. Everyone has difference of opinion when it comes to what they enjoy absorbing from
Absolutely
the book.
I am interested in the Carcharodons, though. Do you know about the Carcharodons?
I know a little bit.
The space shark?
Yeah, with that really big dude and
Tiburos the Red
Wig. That one.
The chapter master that's in Terminator armor, which is half Dreadnought.
And he has giant, ridiculously good claws.
Yeah, they're 1 part lightning claw to 1 part power fist to 1 part chainsword. Imagine he just grabs
and
you.
you become all the parts.
His claws descend from his wrist into you, and then while you're hooked in, little chainsaws in his palms bleh.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Poor guys. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. But the last announcement, I think, is arguably more engaging than everything we've talked about. Grotmas.
The last part of the announcement. This was
Grotmas.
Unexpected AF.
This is crazy.
But I'm so for it.
Explain Grotmas.
We're getting an advent calendar of detachments for 40k. We're getting
every faction.
24 new detachments separate from codexes, including for indexed armies that don't have a codex yet. Man, this is a
and
Christmas
it's supposedly stuff that won't be featured in upcoming codices because it says it can be used with them.
And it's them trying to fill some niches and gaps that they either didn't make the cut in the codex or that people have asked for. One of these is going to be the index for Deathwatch.
Exciting.
For Deathwatch, they're only getting their index out of this instead of getting a second one.
They're getting it back.
Yeah, right. But they're
not getting one, they're getting it back.
It's 24 days, one every day for leading up to Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're going to see some really cool stuff, I think, and armies that don't have a codex yet are about to double in playstyle, essentially.
Do you have either any wishes for the armies you have or general expectations for the detachments we will get?
Give me Big Knights Matter. That's all I care about. Give me a Chaos army that actually makes the Big Knights work properly instead of just this rush of war dogs. And I'm laughing. I'm so happy.
When you play this game, you don't want to just run all of the same unit.
You don't want to just run 2-3 data sheets, right? And your 2k army.
Exactly.
It's just boring. But and especially when the Big Knights are so much cooler looking models. On top of that, I'm excited to see which direction they decide to go with Thousand Sons, because that's the army I'm currently start. I'm also excited to see what they do with Chaos Demons, because it won't be one of the 4 gods specifically. It'll be something else entirely, which I think could be really interesting to see where they go. I'm thinking maybe they may be Vashtor of some sort, but I don't know how they would do that without having to introduce him to the index.
There's only 2 other Chaos powers that aren't really represented by Chaos Demons. It is Vashtor and it's Be'lakor.
Yeah. Which I guess they could throw in, I don't know, something Be'lakor-y.
What about Chaos Marines?
That one's a hard one for me. We already got 8 detachments. We're kind of already spread for choice, and they're about to give us another one. For Space Marines...
What are they going to give Space Marines?
Man, the Space Marine one is going to need some serious balancing, because you got to be real careful what happens with all the Divergent chapters.
If you're not careful, you go to wolf jail.
Yeah. And then Drukhari are going to get a third detachment released?
Yeah, when Drukhari first released, their index wasn't particularly good, so they released the second one that had a lot more competitive edge.
Yeah, and now they're getting another one.
That's cool.
I'm curious, and I have to do the math. I haven't done the math on how many factions there actually are. But is Slaanesh going to get... Are we going to get an Emperor's Children
possibly
index,
let me quickly
essentially?
Let me quickly pull up the list of factions here.
There's a lot. I thought there was more than 24, but...
You've got to consider the Space Marines.
Yeah, but they're broken down into, 4, aren't they?
Let's see. You got Space Marines, and then 4 successor Space Marines, so that's 5.
I count 22. Oh, no, because this is just wrong list. They've put Space Marines in.
If they combine all of Space Marines into one, and they combine the Knights into one, not saying they will, but if they did,
even if they don't,
easily
I think
they'd fit
that's
them.
22. If you don't,
plus Death Watch,
23. So maybe the 24th is
Harlequins.
No, you're getting one. Maybe the 24th is Emperor's Children getting an actual detachment instead of their index being just CSM.
Yep, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of what they're going to do for Space Marines that hasn't already been done, but that'll be interesting. I expect that the detachments will be a relative mix of those that have codexes will get sort of a fluff army. Like, for example, Orcs could get, the Grot Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Or Space Marines could get, a scout company.
Yeah.
Which hasn't been done. They've done a bit of a sneaky armor one, but not a scout one. I think besides that, there's going to be definitely index armies have a lot of wiggle room for a detachment. I think in general, though, we're going to be probably looking at some fluffier stuff overall.
I'm sure it will be mostly fluff and probably toned down to not necessarily be competitive. But
as a resident Necrons player,
I was going to say, what are you excited to see out of this? Because obviously I've said what I'm excited for, but what do you want to see?
Look, as a resident Necrons expert...
Expert?
No, not really. I don't... Okay, I'm a lore expert, I'm not a game expert. If that's not clear by now, you haven't been paying attention. But there are 2 gameplay avenues that do stick out at me, that have yet to really be explored.
Mm-hmm.
There is a strong presence meme going through the Necron communities at the moment, the Settlers of Catan.
Yep. You want your Catan.
Which is oops, all Catan shards.
Yep.
Oops, all Catan shards. You got the Voidbringer, no, I mixed 2 together. The Void Dragon, the Nightbringer, the Deceiver, and then Transcendence, which are your generic option, and you can take multiples.
If you want to buy 3
I wouldn't be surprised
obelisks.
if they... Oh, just kit bash them. Buy some Age of Sigmar Sylvaneth models and turn trees into primordial beings.
For sure.
Anyway, Settlers of Catan could be one, but something I could see them actually doing is adapting some of the index elements that we discussed in our, I think, 2 episodes ago on our Necrons wishlist episode, making something that really leans into, and you're going to hate me for what I'm about to say, reanimation crypts.
But they already have a reanimation thing.
That's the army rule.
Oh, no, isn't... Oh, no.
Let's think of some options. Crusadery has a couple of ideas. +1 of being led. Once per battle round rerolls. Reanimators have better auras. Warriors do more.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely
There's
room.
some options, but that's the only 2 I could foresee, because every aspect of Necrons is covered.
Yeah.
Unless you do some other generalization, bring in some of the 9th edition Dynasty stuff we've talked about already.
Anything else that you're excited to see? We have 24 days of Christmas.
Oh my gosh. Look, I don't really play enough of the factions, but I think if it's going to be not so fluffy, I think we can expect some character-centric detachments, as what we've seen in things like Custodians, Orc Bully Boys, Genestealer Cults. There could be a few armies that I actually would love to see getting more of an allied army theme. For example, Genestealer Cult's half army could be Tyranids.
Yep.
Oh,
I didn't even
cross-representation of Chaos Marines. Tau could have some Imperial Guard, human defectors. Stuff like that. That's what I see. I see chaff, I see Index getting another competitive angle, and I see character-centric / allied styles of armies. That's what I expect to see. I don't have any particular wish lists. I play Necrons, and I'm pretty happy with what I've got. But yeah, that's what I expect.
Yeah, it's super cool. I think it's a really interesting thing and opens up the future as well to them being able to add detachments. I think they've shown they're willing to do it.
Is there anything else that you expect or would like to see?
I think I kind of covered everything for Grotmas. I think once we get like the
really
first
hard.
day or two, that'll really show us the sort of thing we're to expect through the rest.
My biggest concern is quality.
Yeah.
Which is what makes me think we'll get some fluffier things.
Yeah, it also makes me think that maybe these are
flayed ones.
Maybe these are the detachments that didn't make the cut, and they've just been
cutting room floor.
Yeah, it's like, we had these other ideas, but they just didn't make the cut. So we tinkered
Auspex
with them.
Tactics is going to have a very busy month.
That's a lot of slideshows.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, that was pretty much the end anyway.
All right, look, we've actually been talking for quite some time.
Yes, we have. There was a lot revealed.
Yes. We could contain this episode here as a smaller episode release, or we could keep going and talk about Kill Team, or leave it for the next one.
I think the next one's going to have to wait to talk about Kill Team, because we just got lost in all things hype, all things release. Like, it was a huge release weekend.
Yeah.
One last thing, I read a little bit of it. They're doing the grand narrative, obviously, this weekend as well, with the Cassandra system. They're releasing live updates on what's happening, so these are games that are being played at the tournament that are creating the next chapter of this region of space. I think it's really interesting to see some of the stuff they're doing. You've got the different factions all having different goals and trying to work towards these ends, and players actually having the ability to contribute to what's happening by winning or losing games. And I think it's going to be really interesting to look back at once it's wrapped up and complete, and overview exactly what this means for the greater system, because it's very rare that they do these big narrative-focused events where players can reach out and do things.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about this community-driven event and one of the ones they did in the past? Way back when, they had a community-influenced 13th Black Crusade Fall of Cadia. Way before the actual canonized version. They have been doing it a little bit. They did it for the start of 10th edition, where they had the Tyranids versus Space Marines. They did it with the Age of Sigmar. Oh my god, I'm Sylvaneth pilled. Skaven versus Stormcast, with the winner getting their models announced first, which, in the grand scheme of things, isn't exactly a competitive edge, but it's fun.
Oh yeah. But the little bit that I have seen, Chaos have found a new demon weapon, the Kren Nagar, which they're trying to ritually release.
Try that one again.
The Kren Nagar.
I like it.
The Orky boys are trying to do some Psychomech Wurzot machine shenanigans. The Admech are trying to get into one of the archives, the Idiographicus archives, trying to find...
Idiographicus?
Yes. We don't make the names,
the
alright?
meme writes itself.
Oh, yeah. But there's some really cool, rogue trader shenanigans going on there, and it'll be really interesting to see where this all wraps up in the end. But I just wanted to include that if we're...
That's a great inclusion.
As something to add on to the hype episode of player-built lore is always fun.
Yep.
So let's...
That's a great inclusion,
yeah,
thank you.
Keep it going.
You're adding to the scripts, Johnny.
I mean, on top of that...
You're doing your part.
They also released another trailer for Secret Level, the new series that's coming out.
That will be quite fun. I'm trying not to watch many trailers for things I will definitely watch.
But it's definitely there, and it exists, and it's 40k focused.
It's going to be good stuff. Episodes for a lot of different entertainment. Yeah. Getting, I think, a Helldivers one, Space Marine.
Yeah, they're first...
God of War.
I watched the first trailer, and it's very all over the place, but it's meant to be... It looks really good. I'm really excited for that as well.
It's the Love, Death and Robots studio, isn't it?
It sure is.
It's a great publicity thing for them.
It sure is.
Did you watch Love, Death and Robots?
Bits and pieces. I don't think I ever sat down and watched it like fully.
I know what we're gonna do.
It's definitely on my list. That list just gets longer and longer. I still got to watch Arcane.
I watched
season 2.
half a dozen of them. I think there's like 24 of them. Every episode's a different animation style and theme, and that's so cool.
I love that sort of thing. The fact that you
can watch that on Netflix.
The fact that you can just pick it up and you're not thinking about what happened last episode. It's all just its own simple thing. You sit down, you watch it.
We're in such a golden age of animation right now.
Yeah, we are.
Or renaissance, I suppose. Animation still isn't the hypest thing. You kind of have to already be into it.
But it's definitely become more significant culturally than it used to be. Like, anime is a lot more accepted than it once was.
But think of the movies we've had recently. We've got the animated Spider-Verse, which have been very well received.
Yep.
We had the TMNT animated film, which was quite good. We recently had the Transformers 1 movie, which, despite the marketing, was actually quite good.
Yep.
We have the Secret Level anthology coming out.
Well, we have to shill Arcane here that they've just started their second season, and
I was waiting for you to put that in there.
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard very good things.
You know what's really hard for me enjoying Arcane?
What?
Is people will come up and be like, "Hey, you watching Arcane?" I'm like, "Sure am." "Oh, what do you think of the characters?" Me and one of my high school friends played League of Legends. I got into it when Jinx was first added to the game. Yep. And that's when I, joined the game. And I was like, I'll just play the new,
Yeah.
So I was a Jinx main. And now we have like a whole animated series where her and a few of the other related characters are in focus. And I'm blown away. How do they pull it off?
It's amazing the sort of thing that Riot have done with the League of Legends lore outside of the video.
Yeah,
because
right.
The video game itself is a toxic nightmare fuel, but they're doing so much with these like comic books and TV series and like all these other avenues that they've gone down for lore.
A couple of different games as well, like a fighter and a card game.
That you cannot find this lore in the game without reading a small blurb about a character.
Did you ever watch those League of Legends yearly cinematics where they pick half a dozen random heroes from the roster and make this music video-esque high-quality Blizzard vibes trailer?
No, because I was unfortunately a Dota boy.
That's what Dota needed. Every time I watched those things, I was like, cool, where's Dota? Where's Dota's version?
They tried to do a little bit of that in-game in the recent years, but I think it was too little too late.
For sure.
If you're still playing Dota, all for it. Occasionally I'll go back and play a game here and there, but I couldn't imagine still playing it the way I used to.
No. Well, what's next for us? Next episode, Kill Team?
We're going to have to push next episode, Kill Team, and then after that we'll see where we go from there.
So we should have a little discussion about the end-of-year release catalog, mainly for our mental processing, but also for the few of you listening.
Yep.
Last week's episode will come out delayed. This episode will probably release in the same week as the delayed episode, so you get a twofer. There's going to be 1 week available for another episode or two, which could be the Kill Team one.
Mm-hmm.
I have been bustling my booty to make a pretty lengthy episode, which may actually have to wait till next year at this point. But you and I are going to do our own advent calendar.
We sure are.
We're going to do a couple more of these length of episodes before we then wrap the year up with about a dozen short-form, lore-focused, character-centric episodes. You're going to take the reins on half, I'm going to take the reins on half, and I'm going to be an editing madman.
Hey, it'll be fine. There'll only be 10-15 minute snippets, just a quick lore bite to show some of the different characters that exist in this world.
Since it's a hype episode, should we announce what characters we're going to focus on?
We sure could.
Or just leave it a secret?
I think we should announce a couple, just spoil a little bit.
The first couple? Just the first couple?
Yeah.
The first one we're going to do? My first, your first?
That sounds
All right, who are you going to talk about?
I'm going to
first?
start with my main boy. We're going to kick it off with Fabius Bile.
Yum. Actually, no, he's a bit gross.
Hey. No, he's very Rick and Morty. Spoilers.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah. Spoilers, he's very Rick and Morty.
You were telling me about his shenanigans, and I was like, he is more comedic than I anticipated.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes is all we'll say and leave it at that.
I will, without spoiling anything, but the end of the third book in his trilogy, the epilogue chapter, was kind of hilarious.
Have you got that far already, the trilogy?
Yeah.
Are you on to the fourth?
Well, the fourth isn't part of the same trilogy.
No, but it's
I'm about to start Gene Father.
You'll like
which is
it.
Belisarius Squall v Fabius Bile.
Yeah.
Madman versus
the Netflix
Madman.
wrestling match we should have gotten.
Don't start me on that. First boxing match I've watched in years, and it was the most disappointing mess.
I've never watched a boxing match. Someone's like, "You're going to watch the Netflix boxing match?" I was like,
Nah.
Okay, why not? And they told me who it was, and I just said, nah, I'm good.
Oh, it took the two females of the night to show all the men up on how boxing. They were amazing, and I will put it out to that. Like, the girls were really good. They fought like their lives depended on it.
You know what?
And
in classic format, I did not even realize they were part of it. Thanks, advertising.
Yeah, because they weren't really talked about. But it was a championship match, and they fought very well, and that was the bloodiest fight of the night.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. With that to the side, my first character is my favorite little shenanigan Necron character that is not Trazen the Infinite.
Ooh.
It is Unrakir the Traveller.
Yes.
Not a lot of lore, admittedly. I think he has a book, but I don't really have time for that. Maybe I will.
10-minute lore snippets, it's okay. You don't need to read an entire novella.
But I feel like I'd be doing a disservice.
Well, go for it. Do it then.
No. As you said, it's 10-minute lore roundups. Unrakir has some interesting moments. The idea is every character we will discuss will have a model or at least rules to run a model for in the actual game. So we'll also talk a little bit about their stat sheet and their model.
Just a little bit.
Just to teach.
But the main idea is lore focused, with a hint of this is how it plays in game.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for tuning into our hype episode. Johnny, do you want to hype anything else before we round it out?
I'm pretty sure we're good. Like that, I just wanted to include those last little bits that I included, and we're all hunky-dory.
It might be the fever dream we're both experiencing, but I did not anticipate talking about hype releases and announcements for so long.
It was a big reveal.
If you are still listening to the episode and you're like, didn't Joshy talk about a kill team discussion in the first 5 minutes? Yeah, well, just wait for next time.
We'll get there. We've got some cool stuff.
We sure will.
Kill Team too.
We've done our homework. We're going to have a brief little, this is what Kill Team is and why it's different to Warhammer. We're then going to be like, here are a few teams we'd like to see and maybe how they would kind of play.
Yeah, and maybe talk about the teams we have played in the past and how they're kind of supposed to work.
I still don't really know how the Harley Quinn team works. I just look at an ability, think, that's good, and do it.
It's shenanigans.
I need to just play Intercessor team.
They're a hypermobile shenanigan team.
Yeah, well, you're all about shenanigans too, don't hide. But yeah, we'll discuss that next time. I hope you have a good one. Enjoy your hobbying. I hope you've painted something since last time. I haven't even built something since last time.
You're supposed to build a Zera.
I was busy being both sick and editing a podcast, thank you.
Yes, which I much appreciate.
Yeah, you're welcome. One day I'll teach you how to do it.
Alright, well, let's wrap this up.
I'll upskill you.
Have a lovely week, everyone. Enjoy your hobby time. We'll see you next time here on the TTP FM